and thanks for listening to the Cyber Scotland podcast. My name is Kirstie Steele. I'm the Community Lead for Cyber Scotland. In this session, we will be speaking about the CyberFirst Girls competition. CyberFirst Girls competition is the National Cybersecurity Centre's flagship cybersecurity contest for schools. The aim is to inspire girls to consider cybersecurity as a career and pursue their interest in technology. My guests today are from Stirling High School, and we have the computer and science teacher, Ms McAlpine, and we have 4 students with us, Maya, Bonnie, Gurjeet and Erin. They recently won the CyberFirst Girls competition. The girls worked in teams to crack cyber-related puzzles and were the winning team in Scotland. So hi girls, thanks for joining me on the podcast.
Hi, Kirstie.
Great to have you here today. I think I got you out of class to come and chat to me on this podcast, am I right?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. So firstly, I just want to say a big, massive congratulations. You won the CyberFirst Girls competition. So first of all, how did you feel when you won that competition? Were you excited?
Well, I mean, I could see on my teammates' faces that they were all shocked. You know, Gurjeet here was like crying. So we were all just stunned that we'd even got here in the first place. You know, it was just a lot of emotions that we had to process.
Yeah, excitement, relief, shock, but all really good teamwork there. Have you done anything to celebrate? Have you told your friends and family?
Well, after we won, we had to get the train back to here, but we had enough time. So Ms McAlpine took us to Starbucks, and yeah, we were all really excited, and I spilled some on myself, but yeah.
Oh, other drink brands are available, I should say.
She says still some on herself. I think all of it was what she made.
Ah, okay. So a nice treat at the end of it, just to relax and settle down after your win. I bet your family were proud as well of your achievement.
Yeah, they were.
That's good. So I want to kind of go into a bit what made you want to kind of get involved in the competition in the first place. Was this something that you've always been interested in? Or was this something new that you tried out this year? Maybe I'll start with Erin.
Maya asked me to join the group.
Bonnie asked me to join the group.
Oh.
And Kirstie asked me to join the group.
I asked them all to join the group. Last year, I've friends in the year above me, and they did the challenge last year, and they really enjoyed it. And they were telling me about it, saying if you ever have if you have the option, try and do the competition, because it is like a really fun thing that you can do, and there's like a lot of things that you can get from it, like including knowledge and things. So the opportunity popped up, and I asked Bonnie, she asked Maya asked Erin, and then here we are.
That's amazing how it just spiraled and you managed to pull your team together. Was it a definite yes from the rest of you? Were you just like, yeah, I'm going to try that out? Or was this something that you were like, okay, I'll give it a go?
Yeah.
Just because, yeah, good experience from before, you were like, I'm going to give this a go. That's excellent. And before the final happened, am I right in saying, was there a few rounds that you had to do to get to the final in the first place? Maybe somebody could explain what sort of stuff that you had to do to get to the final.
Well, yeah, it was a qualifying round from all the girls in our year, and that went on for a week. So it was this relatively some of the same questions that we had to do in the finals, but you know, it was really, really exciting. But yeah, it went on for a week. It was with all the girls in our year.
That's good. So you had tough competition then, and not just your school that was taking part. There were schools right across Scotland as well getting involved. What kind of challenges were in the questions? Was it all like to do with coding, or was there other sort of like themes within the challenges?
In the entire week, the challenges, they were grouped by topics. We had some knowledge ones, we had some logic ones, we had decoding and ciphers. So each of us had our own expertise. So we just went with our own stuff and then came together when we got a hard question.
That's good. So teamwork kind of played a key part into getting to the final to begin with. And you all kind of knew where your strengths were and how you could work together to pull that tricky ones that were challenging. You could use all your different knowledge from each other. That's excellent. Teamwork plays a huge part in cybersecurity. It's not always just the one person that has to solve these problems. Everybody works in their different groups. So how did you find all working together? Were you able to sort of negotiate who was having to answer what question? And is that how it worked? Did you all know what each other's strengths were, or is that something that you found out as you played along?
We would do it at home, and then every lunchtime we'd come to Ms McAlpines and talk over questions and just like work together as a team to solve the hard ones.
Yeah, and we're all confident with each other. We were all friends. We're all a big friend group, and we were all excited that we're doing this together. And sometimes we would like split the group and maybe we'd do some questions with 2 people. So it was fair, and it was very fun.
Yeah. Are you able to tell me what your favourite sort of type of challenge was? Maybe I'll go one by one. What one did you find like the easiest or the most sort of fun or challenging for you to do? We'll start with Erin.
I don't really know. I think they were all quite difficult as well, to be honest.
Right.
I quite like the decoding ones. Find it quite easy to think about the lectures and like relationship between them.
Cool.
I really liked the part where you're supposed to go to a website and you're supposed to look at all the coding and try and figure out what the problem was.
Cool. That sounds exciting as well.
I found the cybersecurity section the easiest, I guess, because I completed most of the challenges. I just found them quite enjoyable.
They were the cipher ones, weren't they? Yeah.
It sounds like there was a real mix of different challenges that you had to do. So yeah, there's going to be tricky moments there, I would imagine, as you were playing along. But I'm going to bring in your teacher, Ms McAlpine, who's probably supported you within your challenges as well. Is cybersecurity an area that you see more of your students being interested in?
It's kind of difficult to say in the sense of I spend a lot, or me and the whole faculty, because of firstly how important we know it is for society, but also because the jobs, the employment opportunities, etc., that we do loads of work trying to encourage kids into it. So obviously the CyberFirst Girls is one of my favourite things to do, but mainly because there's no boys. But there's like, we do lots of like the National Progression Awards, and we push it a lot all the way through school. So we are seeing an increase of people interested. But I don't know whether that's just because we've been pushing it or because they're seeing actually this is the opportunities that are out there.
I think there's probably a mix there of like maybe seeing other students like Gurjeet kind of saw from the previous years, and it's inspiring them to go, oh, I'd definitely encourage that and I would challenge it. And maybe yourselves, you'll be able to inspire some of the future pupils in your school to be like, you know, you can do it. We've won this competition, and that's maybe something that you should try and encourage more people to sort of get involved in, I guess. You were saying about you that you've encouraged your students to do some of the National Progression Awards and stuff like that. Is there certain other sort of programmes or resources or anything like that that you've been sharing with them that they've found most interested in?
So I think you're guessing what I'm going to say. So we use the, what's it called? Digital World HQ.
Yes, the Cyber Skills Live.
I should get the actual wording right before I said. So, obviously I absolutely adore things like the Cyber Skills Live programmes, such as the kind of like the stealing pizzas and robbing banks and all these things, because they're fantastic. They're fantastic, wee fun kind of challenges and games. And what we do is we pull kids out of classes and they get to have a bit of fun doing it, and we make it like a thing. So that obviously does encourage them, and they're the kind of ones that now the people who are in like 5th and 6th year doing the National Progression Awards, they're the ones who have done the CyberFirst Girls, who have done lots of the wee kind of hackathons and things like that over the years. So yeah, we do lots of these little programs and things like that, which are absolutely fantastic.
It's great to see so many pupils and stuff like that getting involved. And obviously I've done some of the live lessons and I've seen lots of the pupils in the schools, and it's great to hear how good those resources are, that people are using them and getting involved in these different, national competitions as well. You must be so proud of your students for winning it this year.
Listen, these guys winning, I think I'm probably myself, and it was Dr. Clark, one of the other teachers who went with them. Then we were walking back going, we won. It's not us. But no, totally proud of them. They were fantastic. Absolutely kind of swept the floor with everything. So it was really, really good.
Excellent. Well, winning a competition like this takes a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication. So, girls, how did you find balancing your schoolwork with the competition? Like, did that have to take a back seat, or how did that work?
Well, Ms McAlpine, she had said that we could skip some classes and even in the qualifying round that we could skip some classes to do the questions and that she'd email. But we didn't actually skip a lot of classes. It wasn't stressful at all, and it was, we usually did most of the questions at home or at lunch or break, and it was nice balancing our classwork and our cyber calls because we were both getting them done and it wasn't stressful.
And I should cover my back here. They're not skipping classes. It was classes such as computing and physics and maths, or if they had finished work in another class, teachers were allowed to lay them out and things like that. So, but that's said, these guys didn't really miss too much because they were doing so well. Anyway, they kind of didn't need to.
Yeah, I'm glad you helped explain that there. Otherwise, you probably would have got some phone calls. But yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, trying to, when there was a spare moment, get some studying in or take those extra lessons where you could. So yeah, I want to now sort of ask, what advice would you give other students who might be interested in getting involved in the competition? What was maybe the advice that you got, Gurjeet, to say, you should do this next year, that you think might be interest of other people? So what advice would you give them now?
The advice that I got was that, well, I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but you could get skip out of class and you could do your own thing, business corner. It was kind of like that sort of stuff. But I also got advice saying it looks quite good in your CV, and it also gives you a lot of knowledge things. Like if I didn't do the challenge, there would be a couple of things I would understand how to do in computing. So I feel like it kind of makes life a bit easier knowing how to do it. Because some of the problems, you didn't people overthought them. You just had to do them. You just had to think of them as normal questions. There's nothing behind them. So it just helps with basically the problem solving, and if you face anything, you know how to tackle it.
That's really good tips there. Maya, would you say the same? What advice would you give some people? Would you encourage them to get involved? Did you enjoy it enough that you would say, I'd recommend it?
Yeah, I think I would encourage all those people who are interested in computing, because this was a really fun competition. Even if you didn't get first place or get to the finals, it was still a fun thing to be a part of.
That's excellent. And Erin, are you saying the same? It's great fun because you've got your friends, I guess, along with you doing it, experiencing the same thing.
Yeah, it's really good fun, and it doesn't really matter if you win or not. It's just, you should be proud of yourself, people.
Really, really good advice. It's the getting involved that's important here, learning these new skills and working together in that sort of way. And Bonnie, have you got any advice for future contestants maybe?
I definitely think that you should take part in a competition like this. That it's an area where especially girls are very underrepresented, and in cyber and coding and computing. And I think having this opportunity it's an amazing thing that you should realise what it is and take it on.
This is excellent tips and advice for people. And I want to know, did you have any how sometimes people have some pre-match rituals that they do before a competition? Did you have to do any not a warm-up as such, but was there anything that you had to do or you did all together? Was there a special code that you produced or something before taking part in these different rounds?
Well, it's funny you say that because during the break in the finals, we were at the top of the leaderboard already, but we were this might maybe dropped all the way down. So we kind of huddled together, and we were we're gonna do this. The only thing we had in our head was all of us just working together, and we had to motivate ourselves.
I love that idea that you get together, huddle it out, and say we've got this far, we can do it, and believe in yourselves, and you've totally done that, and you've done your school and yourselves proud for sure for winning that competition. So well done again for that one. I want to finish on Ms McAlpine here. So what do you hope that your students have maybe taken away from this experience? Why is it that you've decided to allow your pupils to kind of get involved in this sort of style of competition?
So, I mean, there's obviously loads of kind of things that I would love them to take. I think kind of Bonnie hit the nail on the head about the lack of women representing. And I love CyberFirst Girls because it does just become, it is essentially all about the girls and working together and coming together as teams. And they have kind of expanded on it, but we had, I think this year, 8 or 9 teams. And there were so many, like hundreds of girls. That's not quite hundreds, but I'm a computing teacher, not a maths teacher. But we had loads and loads of girls taking part. So there's a brilliant buzz. But because it's all girls, I think the hope is that they're seeing that and they're going, actually, do you know what? Girls can do this. And I think that's the kind of main thing. I think girls, and then this is a bit generic, but generally we're really bad at admitting we can be good at things. So what I really want them to take from this, even the ones who didn't get through to finals, all the other teams that did it, the fact that they were able to complete 1 or 2 tasks, to do things and go, actually, I'm no daft, I can actually do some things. And that's what I would love to see. And over the years of doing this, I have seen most of the girls who do the competition actually take computing. So you see that kind of progression because I think it helps them to go, actually, I can do this. But also the fact that so there's a confidence aspect I want them to take. There's the fact that they can find out that girls can do computing too, which is obviously really important. But competitions tend to be a motivator. So we've got next week, we've got a few competitions happening, and even though the Digital Skills HQ, all the cyber skills lessons are not actually competitions, you hear the classes roar when we get a shout out. It just motivates them more. So it's a great way of getting kind of young people to appreciate themselves.
I think some of that is great takeaways. Even those that were involved in the competition, whether or not they were going to pursue that career in technology and computing or cybersecurity, obviously that would be something that we would encourage for people to do. But I think it's given them that confidence as well, like you said, of, we can do this, we can work together as a team, we can solve these problems, and we can use these skills of working together like that in our future careers, no matter which kind of path we go to pursue, essentially.
I was just actually going to say, one of the things that we kind of didn't quite point on, you probably have worked out from listening to them, but all the teams are actually made up of very different women, like very different personalities, but that's actually a big part of it as well. Not all of them are going to be computer scientists or math geniuses. They've all got very different personalities, which is a great way of making up the teams as well. So that makes a big difference to the teams.
I think that reflects in normal work life as well. Everybody's got their own skill set that they are confident in or good at, and that's what makes things work well, I guess. Well, this has been a really interesting chat, and it's been great to see that sort of friendship that you've built, those knowledge and skills that you've developed over the time. Massive congratulations again for winning that competition, and I hope that you maybe do consider this as a career opportunity, but obviously I want to wish you the best on your journey going forward, no matter which path that you choose. So thank you for joining me on the Cyber Scotland podcast. Thanks, Ms McAlpine, and the girls, Maya, Gurjit, Erin and Bonnie. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So for the best place to find cyber information and advice across Scotland, visit the Cyber Scotland website, cyberscotland.com.